Hi everyone! Today is day 3. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Woohoo! I feel like um, even getting to day 3 in these times is a little bit of an achievement. So I'm just going to be like, yay! But yes, hi. Um, Thank you for coming back today. If you are back on day 3, please give a shout out in the chat room and yeah, so that I know if anybody's here. I hope I am live. Um yeah, hopefully everything is set up well, audio as well, visuals as well. Um but yeah, so I guess I'm going to get started on recapping what we did yesterday. And so in the last or yesterday, we were trying to go through the movie database API, because what we're trying to do currently is, let's see, we are trying to go and get the data for Crazy Rich Asians. And so, what I wanted to do yesterday was programmatically get all of the actors from that movie. Then, for each of the actors, get their bio and the movies that they've been in. And then, for each of those movies that each actor has been in, um, get the details of that movie, and also get the order that the cast was billed. So yesterday we were able to get to right here, number 2. We were able to get all of the data for one person, for one actor, and today we're going to work on finishing the second set of scripts so that not only can we get all of that data for one actor, we can get it for all of the actors and actresses in the film. So I see Gilliam says hi Gilliam, and hi Green Veggie. Thanks so much for coming back for a third day. Um, I am honestly super happy when you show up and kind of make this a fun interactive experience, just because, again, I learned so much from you in the chat. And I feel a lot of support from it too. So, yeah. So, I guess, let's yeah, I guess we can get started and dive right back in. And for today's goal is to finish all of these scripts. And then, if we still have time in this hour, then we're going to get started, at least set up for the analysis part. So that'd be really exciting. And hi, Alice. Thank you so much for joining today. Okay, so let's get started. So yesterday what we had was we finished writing this script, which went and got, let me toggle this to, let's see, toggle soft wrap. And we were able to finish writing this script yesterday. And so this one, what it did was hit the API endpoint for a specific movie, and get their credits. And all we did was, for those cast members, so let me see. Hopefully when I highlight things, you can see them. Let me make them a little bit bigger, and then hopefully you can see where I'm highlighting. But yeah, for each cast member, I just remembered their ID and name, and I saved it in this JSON file that I called CRA cast JSON. And then what I went over to do is I created a new script where I read in all of the actors that we saved in CRA cast JSON. And then we started on this function that hits the API endpoint for a specific actor to get not only the actor's details, but also to get all of the movie credits that they've been in. And we got to a point yesterday where we were able to kind of just get all of the responses and parse it into JSON. But we haven't done any sort of cleaning or anything just yet. So let's get started there. I actually see, is it Serenify? Serenify says, "Hey Shirley, I'm a data scientist, dev advocate, but mostly in the PyData world. I find the JavaScript ecosystem so unbelievably confusing and complex. Any tips on how to navigate?" Honestly, I feel you. And I think I started on like JavaScript and web like eight and a half, almost 9 years ago, where I guess I felt like things were still mostly reasonable and sane. And then yeah, in the last like 5 or 6 years, like all these dev environments and all these fancy things have like come up, and I feel you. I'm like I got to learn as I went. But I'm still so confused about everything that's happening in the JavaScript world. And like things just keep changing and updating also. So what I would say is, for example, if what you're interested in terms of getting into JavaScript is, let's say, for data visualization, because if you do PyData, or if you're a data scientist and like you already have the data science and analysis part down, which by the way, I hope you stick around for next week because we're going to be doing data analysis, like light analysis next week. And that is personally my weakest skill set out of kind of the whole data visualization, like the spectrum of things we need to create like a dataviz project, and that's my personal weakness. So I'm hoping to use this stream to kind of learn more tips and tricks with data analysis. So if you can stick around for that part and like join us, like not only today but next weekend, as long as we're doing the stream, I'd be really grateful so that I can learn from you. But that was a bit of a tangent. All I was trying to say is, if what you're trying to do is data visualization with JavaScript on the web, I would say like when you're starting out, don't bother with all of those, like, there's like Webpack now, there's like, I can't even list all of the things that are out there now with like all of the build systems. Honestly, those confuse me so much, and I just find one and I use it. But at the end of the day, when you want to do something on the web, all you really need to, all you really need, unless you're trying to make like a really complex, interactive web application, if all you're trying to do is like, put something on a web page, all you need is your HTML, your CSS, and vanilla JavaScript, and one index HTML file. You can get that all into like index HTML, and then you can start, like, you can have, the style tag for all your CSS, you can have the script tag for all your JavaScript. Maybe you can load in some JavaScript libraries like d3 to help you, but start just really simple. Just cut out all of the things, like there's React and there's Vue, and I don't know if Angular is still alive, but there's so many things. Just kind of cut that out and focus on what it is you're trying to show on the screen, and then start from there. And then I think as long as you kind of start from that, like start from like a small scope and then kind of build in a little bit more and more, I would say that you really don't actually need all those kind of like build systems, like Webpack, that you might see floating around, until like you're trying to make like a really big, like if you have many different files that you need to kind of like, many JavaScript files or modules that you want to kind of like compile into one single file. If you want to use some like, you know there's some like if you want to use TypeScript, or if you want to get a little bit more sophisticated, that's when I would recommend those build systems. But when you're just starting out, just start with an index HTML and start there. Oh, hello. Yes, Alice says this music is so soothing. I completely agree. And I learned this music is from a awesome band called Lullatone. And I actually found out about them through Alice. And because she has them on her stream called Doodle Therapy, it was so nice and so relaxing. Because I tend to kind of get like really nervous in these streams. And I've been putting them on in the background, and it's like really calming me down. It's really nice. So if you like it, please check out Lilitone. And Tactics and Strat says, Sup, Shirley, let's do this. Yes, let's do this. I watched your courses on Front End Masters. Love your D3 stuff. Thank you so much. And Sodi says, Hi, Shirley. Way to go. Thanks for coming in and joining us again, Sodi. Serenify says, frameworks. Yes. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was saying. All these different frameworks that are out there. Just, you don't have to, you really don't need to bother with them at the very beginning. Green Veggie says, Serenify, if you're interested in visualization, I would highly recommend checking out the Data Visualization Society. They talk about really cool JavaScript stuff. Also highly recommend Waffle.js. Ooh, I agree about Waffle.js. That is a San Francisco-based JavaScript meetup, super fun. And I think they're still doing their events remotely, their meetups remotely. Oh, Serenify says he's in Dataviz Society. Cool. And he said, you need a linter and a server to compile Babel, your npm package manager, your gulp thing, your Java and JSX storybook thing, TypeScript. Yeah, so that is basically the state of JavaScript. Strip all of that out. Most cases, if you're just starting out and you're just trying to get something on the page, you really don't need it. Just like start with a simple project that you can do within your index HTML and then gradually ramp up from there. But if you do want, so over the years, I've kind of figured out my own setup. And my own setup tends to be if I'm using Vue, which is a JavaScript framework that kind of helps me manage like complex interactions on a web page. If you're using Vue, I recommend just the Vue CLI, which is kind of their own dev ecosystem. If you're using React, I haven't used React in a very long time, but back when I did, I used to use Create React App to help me manage my dev and prod and build system. And if I'm not using either, I tend to like using this thing called Parcel.js. And that, yeah, so this is the bundler that I use. And so those are kind of the three options I go for. I don't know how they work. I just know that they fit my needs and you know, yeah. But start with an index HTML. Let's see. Sodi says, my friend prefers TypeScript because of JavaScript's complexity. Is there something in that? So I'm not a good person to answer this because I tried TypeScript like 6 years ago or so, 6 or 7 years ago, and I really didn't like it. I don't know if that was just because it wasn't as sophisticated, like it wasn't as, I don't know, developed then, or so I can't really speak to the advantage of TypeScript because I think the team I was on when we used it, I don't think we did a good job advocating for why it was good. But I think what I've heard is JavaScript and how things are typed in JavaScript is so weird and messy, and like, you know, integers and strings, and they get converted in ways that like don't make sense. And so I think what I've heard about TypeScript, please don't quote me because I haven't looked into this, is that they just really help you manage that a lot easier. I'm sure there's a lot more reasons to use it. That's my impression. And Serenify says, I'm happy to help with the data analysis part. Thank you so much. Dr. Miko is now hosting me. Thank you so much for hosting me. Gilliam says, right, maybe you could focus on what you already know and try to do the same with JavaScript. That's a really great advice, Gilliam. And then Oh, Dirtan, thanks for joining again today. Hello. Coding Garden says hello. And oh, actually, you know what, Gilliam? What a great one! Like, I should, Dirtan. Do you mind me just calling you DT? Because I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and DT would be a lot simpler. Um, Green Veggie says TypeScript has types, makes life so much easier for debugging. Fair enough. Um, Dr. Miko says, I'm guessing that's a hello. Peter Jaborkai says, great to be here. Thank you for being here. Um, Gilliam says, we're trying hard not to bash on frameworks today. Yes. I actually really love Vue. I think it helps my coding a lot, and I think it helps reduce the number of lines of code I write. So, yeah, I'm not trying to bash on any frameworks. DT, oh, cool. Okay, DT says TypeScript is great for teams and big projects, a bit of an unneeded overhead for personal projects. That's a really great summary. Coding Garden says unrelated, but you should update your stream category. Right now it is creative. That category doesn't exist anymore. It might choose science and technology or just chatting. Interesting. I didn't know. Wow. Well, creative is what I had set it to back in 2017. So apparently it doesn't exist anymore. Probably, is there a tag for coding? Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know that. If there is a tag for coding or creative coding, I would love to put, yeah, I guess we can go under science and technology. I was hoping that it would be like very specifically coding, but I guess that's okay. All right. There's basic programming, but most coders are in science and technology. Noted. Thank you for the heads up to both Serenify and Coding Garden. Okay, so I guess we've caught up on chat. I also just I wanted to check in. I like reading through all of the chats because that helps me kind of really see what everybody is saying. I don't know if it's really annoying for you that I go and read everything out loud. Just let me know. But as of right now, I'm just going to read everything in chat just because I like doing that. Oh, Narendev says hi, hello. How are you? I'm good. Okay, so Gilliam says it's fine. That's great. Thank you. So, okay, what we've done yesterday is we've gone in and gotten the details for each actor and their movie credits. Okay, so let's parse through what we've gotten back. Let me pull up the people endpoint and let's see. So we do get quite a few information. Let me see if I jotted down what I wanted to remember from them. It seems like I was like, oh, all of these information seems good. So let's just remember all of them. Cool. But also we've gotten the movies they've been in. And for that endpoint, it seems like I only wanted to remember their credit ID and the ID for the movie. Let me double check and make sure that that is true. So, yeah, because there's a lot of information about the character. So credit ID, yesterday we talked about, it seems like the unique ID for that character in a movie. And I think I decided not to get all of the information here because in my third script, I'm going to go and get the movie details anyways, so I don't need to do double the amount of work here because this is only a subset of the movie information anyways. So yeah, so from here, it seems I only need the credit ID and I need the title ID, or sorry, the ID, which presumably is the movie ID. That would make sense. So yeah, let's go and do that. And Nuran Dev says that he saw my Learn with Jason streams. Yeah, those were really fun. The last one we did together, Jason and I, feel like we had some really big breakthroughs. That was really fun. I'm supposed to, I think, go back on Jason's stream to finish up the projects that we had. And let's see. Oh, Peter Javorka, thank you so much for hosting me right now. And Julia Namori says today is my first day here, so I believe I can't follow up with the scripts. Are they available anywhere so I can download and follow you today? Yes. Well, okay, sorry. The scripts, I haven't pushed them up onto my GitHub yet. So they are, but I did archive my streams from yesterday and last week on my YouTube, which is under the same handle. And I think maybe if you like fast forward towards the end or something, you might be able to see those. Yeah, so I'll upload these scripts soon. Um, let's see. Oh, interesting. Gilliam says, could you store the poster paths too? I'd like to submit something for our next stream. Maybe backdrop as well. Actually, so let me do for movies. I know they have, so I'll add that into what I get for the movies. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of centralize what we get for the movies in this third script. So in here, I don't yet have poster paths or anything, but I can backdrop path and poster path. How interesting. I'll add that in there when we get there. And let's see. And oh yes, Astro Penguin, thank you so much for linking my YouTube. Web Dublin says, hi, what are you using for your API docs? It's beautiful. It is not my API docs. It is the movie database API's docs. Okay, so let's run the script. And so that is in node data, and the script we want is get actor info. Perfect. So yeah, so we get their bio information, and then we get all of their movie credits. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to just store, let's see. Oh, interesting. She was crew on something. Interesting. Okay. So I think the JSON structure that I want is do I want to have both the cast, do I want crew information? So that's the decision I need to make right now. And if I do want the crew information as well, do I like flatten it so that it's not such a deeply nested structure? I don't know. Let me kind of take a look at, let's see if there's any, let me actually just go and get constances. So the nice thing is I can seem to be able to try it out, except for I don't have my API key, so I cannot try it out. But actually, let me just go find her, let's see, and then see what she had for crew, and see if that's, oh, she was executive producer on something. That's also very interesting information. So actually, yeah, let me keep with that. So let's see. Let's take a look at the example. Oh wait, no, the example movie credits. And I just want to understand how the crew information is different. So crew is all, I also have ID, and there's a job and credit ID. So for this particular one, I probably will want to get the job as well, is my guess, because if they're on crew, they're not the actor, so then I would probably want to know what they did. Okay, so let's do it this way. We are going to loop through all of the data, all of her data. Oh no, actually, no. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is, So I'm going to actually create a new variable called actor. And what I'm actually going to do is, do I want to do it that way? So I'm just trying to figure out how do I get how do I arrive at the final object that I want? let me do it this way. So let me actually just go through, so data dot, let me do the easiest thing first. So let me go and say I want, how about this? Okay, so I'm gonna say I want only from within this bio information, I'm going to say that I only want her name, her ID, her birthday, I guess death date, her gender, I don't know if I want her biography, profile path. Ooh, I guess this is her photo, IMDb ID, interesting. For now, I guess I only want, let's just keep it this much for now, and later on, if we want more, then we can rerun the script with more. So actually, let me get the popularity, and let me get biography. Do I want anything more than this? Do I care about place of birth? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, let me get place of birth. Yeah, I think that's the information I want. Did I get everything known for ID movie credits? Okay, so let's see. Biazikia says, just starting learning D3 this week. I'm glad I found your videos. They have been extremely helpful. Thank you so much. Let's see. Web Dublin says, thanks, my old man eyesight couldn't make it out on my phone. Gilliam says, I thought you asked only for the cast, not the crew. Yeah, so I knew, yes, so that is true for when I went and got the list for Crazy Rich Asians, the movie, it gave me, I only asked for the cast members of the movie, but it seems like when I go and get movie credits information for a specific person, it gives me back both the cast and the crew information, whether they've been the actor or actress, or if they were, I guess in Constance's case, if they were the producer, so if they were part of the crew. So I think that might be interesting. And so that's why I decided to, well, okay, for simplicity for today, let's just concentrate on cast, and let's make a note that we might come back later and add the crew part back in. And Green Veggie says, might be interesting since some of the cast were born in different places. Yes, about the place of birth. Yeah, Gilliam says it would have been nice if they had separated the place of birth, having the country apart from the rest. I agree, because even if it's interesting, it means that we need to do some processing after to get just the country name, and that assumes that they're in the same format across all of the actors and actresses. But we'll deal with that if we decide to use the place of birth. Okay, so let's then do this. And I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do is create a new object, and within that, I'm going to, I feel like I'm overcomplicating this, but oh well. And actually, I feel like there's like an easier way to write this. So I'm just trying to, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to create a new object, or just clean up and rename some of the object keys to something that seems friendlier. And then I want to create a new key that just says movies or something like that. So I feel like there is a cleaner way to do this, and I feel like you all would know. But for now, I'm going to just, because ultimately what I actually wanted was just called, I just want to like change this to birthplace instead of place of birth. I have a thing against underscores. I'm sorry. In my data set, I really don't like keys with underscores. And then I'm going to I'm just going to call it movies. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to loop through all of the movie credits. So let's see, actually. So that means I also want to get the movie credits. And so I'm going to loop through all of the movie credits. And, oh, but only for the cast, for now. And then for each of those, I want to get, was it the credit ID and the ID. And I'm going to just remember those two things. I don't know, do I want to rename that too? Okay, I'm being hypocritical. This has an underscore. Let's see how that worked out. Perfect. Ooh, awesome. So we've kind of cleaned it up. We have biography, popularity, death day is no, birthplace is Richmond and Virginia. Perfect. I have movies, and for each movie I have the ID and credit ID. Perfect. This is what we wanted. And let's see. Gilliam asks, is this a good time to remind everyone not to store what you don't need to store, especially as it pertains to personal information of actual people, even if that info is already public? It's easy to just store everything the API provides, but Shirley is rightly filtering the fields here. Oh, thank you for that note. I actually hadn't really thought of that. I've only ever thought of it from like the perspective of, do I need this information or not? So I've never thought about it from a privacy perspective, but that is a really great point that you bring up, Gilliam. Thank you so much. And DT says, I don't think you need object assign here, just do const after. Oh my god, you're right. That was so silly of me. I think I just use object assign so often that I like forget that I don't need that. But yeah, silly of me. I thought I was going to combine two different objects together. Okay, so let me make sure one more time that that's gonna do the thing I wanted to. Perfect. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is actually, I think I need to have a parent array that I'll create up here outside of the function, because I need to have an array that I can shove all of these actor objects into. So let's see. Should I be just, I think maybe a good thing is to just save them. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'll save them into this same CRA cast JSON. And so I think I'm going to shove this into the same actors array that we got already. So that way, we're just going to be like, as we run each of these scripts, it's just going to update this same JSON file. I think I like that idea. So what I want to be doing is basically, I have the actor here, and the actor has, so actor right now just has ID and name. So what I'm going to do is actually, I think I was on the right track with object assign. And let me not give myself too much credit here. Just worked out in my favor. So I'm gonna just do object.assign that same actor, and I'm going to just put in these information, and so that way when I console log actor, it should be the same thing. Actually, if I console log actors, the parent array, then I should see that Constance's information has been updated. So that should hopefully work. Perfect. So now we see that Constance's information has been updated in this bigger actors array. And now what I like to do is to go and save the file. And I'm going to save it in that same JSON file. So I'm going to do JSON.stringify, and I'm going to stringify the actors array. And encoding, actually, I think encoding is default UTF-8, so I think we don't have to worry about it there. So now if I run this, I should be able to see that, let's see that, let me toggle this so that it's easier to see, and see that, yeah, Constance's information has been updated, and we now also have all of her, movies information as well. Yes! Okay, awesome. And actually, let's admit, I'm more a camel case person than an underscore person, so I'm just gonna update it to so in A. I'm sorry. There are some things that just really bug me. Okay, perfect. Yes, okay. And let me catch up on the chat. X Darkmaster asks, how long have I been coding in JavaScript for? So I started in I had my first experience with JavaScript probably in 2011, and then my first full-time job was as a front-end software engineer in 2012. So like 9 years probably. And DT says, this code is so full of side effects. I love it. Thank you. Not quite sure what you mean by side effects, but thank you. So, okay, now that we've been able to do one of them, let's loop through the rest and the rest of the actors and remember those. So, how do I want to do this? Okay, so you know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to remember the index that we're on. And so here, let me pass in that it's 0. Actually, in that case, I think I should be able to do just, I'm just going to call it, yeah, index. Let me get it. I'm just going to call it actor index. And then that way, what I can do is say, I can go and get the actor from the actors array within the function. And so I can pass in one last thing. And then I should be able to, let's see, let me comment this a little bit. So merge actor bio with our original actor info. We're gonna write actors array to file, and then once I do that, I like to call my get actor info, my function. I like to call that again, but with the index increased. So then that way we should be able to, so what happened there is once we get all of the actors, once we get the detailed information for one actor and we've like successfully made that request and written that actor's information to file, then we're going to call this whole function again and we'll move the index to the next one, and then we'll be able to then get the next actor out of the actors array. And of course, that means that at some point, we're going to hit the very end of the actors array. So if we do that, I'm going to say, if there's no more actors to go through, then return. And that should take care of everything theoretically. So let's run it and see what happens. And hopefully it works. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I have some questions that have been coming in. Just Judo said, hi, how's it going? I think I followed you offline. Must have heard good things about you. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you to everyone that followed me in my 2.5-year hiatus from Twitch. And yeah, and continue to follow me. I'm back for now. And Gilliam says, does that string of 5 need to be placed in a bar? So this one does not actually need to be. You can just do string of 5 here, and then that will return a string of our JSON object, and that will get written here. And oh yeah, so it's not a param to file thing. Oh no, I can't. I don't know how to pronounce your handle. XH Paez says, hi, longtime fan of your work. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining today's stream. Okay, so I think we have everything we need for this function. And then I think it means that we'll be able to fill everybody's information. And so what I'm going to do is I like to put in a little bit in some console logs, just to make sure that what I expect to happen is happening. And yes, so I'm gonna console log there, and I'm going to right here say console.log file saved. And then let's try running this. Yes, okay. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, it's going. Awesome. Let's also, yes. Okay, so it was Jasmine Carr the last person. I think Jasmine Carr was the last person. And if we take a look at our gigantic file now, it looks like everything has been saved down to Jasmine Carr. Yes. Okay. Yes. So yeah, that worked on the first try. I hope this keeps happening. So yeah, that is everything we need to do in the second script. And DT says, let's run it and hope it doesn't explode. It did not explode. Thank you. Scrabble asks, what made you take a hiatus from streaming? It was just like a lot of personal things. I like moved to a different country for a few months to try it out, and then it's just and then like when I moved back, we moved places. It's just been a lot going on in my personal life, and that's the only reason. It wasn't anything to do with like Twitch itself. But I'm just really happy to be back because I do really miss streaming. And just Judith says, yay, that's a really cute emoji. And Queerzide says, really enjoy following your coding and process. Thanks for streaming and letting us look over your shoulder. Yeah, this is actually really fun for me too, because then I get to learn from you. Scramble says, no worries, got to take care of yourself. Thank you. Okay, so that took longer than I expected, but also went better than I expected. So I guess it balances out. So we finished the second script, and let us then jump into the last script because we only really have 15-16 minutes. So let's see how much we can get done in this last script. And I'm going to employ the same copy and paste trick that messes me over more often than not, but I am lazy. So in this last script, what we want to do is get actors' movies. So get actor movies info, let's call it that. Just gets progressively longer in name. So we want to keep getting the API key. We do want to get all of the actors information, so this is still relevant. And so I'm going to probably, so actually I think a lot of this is still relevant. Actually, we can keep a lot of this code. Good job, us. DT says, what is coding if not copy and pasting code? Very true. And Just Judo says, it's from an awesome artist. Yes. Yeah, I like this. Would you be able to share the artist that did your emoticons? Emoticons? What's the difference? Emoticons? Because it's really cute. And Snowbite, your emoticons are really cute too. But okay, so I think actually we can keep a lot of this that we already have, a lot of this code, just because. So now instead of getting actor info, we're just gonna get actor movies info. And then what we want to do is we want to probably loop through each actor's information. So so because for each of the actors' movies, I have their movie ID and credit ID. So we are going to, and what I'm going to structure this in a, okay, so I was trying to think through this, and I was like, should I do this in a, more efficient. Well, okay, let me do it in the easiest way first, and then we'll figure out then we'll talk about if we should optimize it. So the easiest way first is to loop through everybody's movies, and then grab some important information from each movie as well as their billing. So let's go through each actor's movies, and from those, I'm actually going to do this. And then I'm going to copy and paste this little bit in here, so then I can just be lazy. And actually, I think I even can do this. Wait, do I need anything here? Actually, I think even the saving those actors array to file is the same. So perfect. We only need to rewrite this part. And I'm gonna update the function name, and then I'm also going to, let me toggle soft wrap again, and that way you can see, yes, so now instead of the person endpoint, we're going to go back to the movies endpoint. And this time around, we want to get both the movie details and the cast. So this time around, we're going to do, let's see, for each movie, I want to get the movie.id, and the endpoint is movie. Yes, the endpoint is movie. We have our API key, and then append response is get credits, I believe. Yes, yes it is. Cool. Get credits. Yes, okay. So that is the second thing we want. And actually, I am going to comment this part out for now so that we don't like loop through all of the actors unnecessarily. I'm going to console log the data to see what we get back. And let's run this third script and see what happens. One thing I notice when I'm doing these streams is like I rarely drink water because I'm just talking the whole time, and then I just like my throat is so sore afterwards. So I should do this more often. Let's see. Just Judo says, "Oh, I'm so hyped! I found your stream, cute emoticon. The things you do are so awesome. Just took a look at your portfolio. I'm a total rookie that wants to go into UI and front-end development. Lots to learn here for me, I bet." Thank you so much. Oh, that is so nice. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining the stream. I hope you can, like, I hope there's some things that you can learn from here. And welcome to the front end UI world. I'm not sure if it's like all jolly and good, but it's mostly great. Most of the people are really great, so welcome. And DT says Astro Penguin, console log, and Stack Overflow are the root of all code. I must have missed something somewhere, the Astro Penguin said. And Gilliam asks if there is a hydrate command. I'm not sure what that means. What is a hydrate command? Okay, so now that we have this third script, ooh, we have 10 minutes. Wonder if we can get it done in 10 minutes. That'd be awesome. So let's try running this new script. Whoa, but yes, I think this is what we want. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yes, but I do believe this is what we want. Oh, that's really cute. Just Judo says you can set up a Twitch bot to remind you to hydrate. That's really cute. And then Astro Penguin says Twitch has some custom commands and some streamers. Oh, I see. Add the hydrate command so the viewers can remind them to drink some water. Yes. Maybe, yeah. Huh. That is good to know. Uh-oh. Okay, so I should have put, how do I silence notifications on my laptop? I need to figure that out. I should have done this before the stream. Okay, so let's figure out what is going on. Oh my gosh. Okay. How do I silence notifications? That's probably not what I should have done. I'm really bad at this whole streaming thing. Okay, back on topic. Let's see. Green Veggie says, looks like a scene from The Matrix when scrolling through the JSON really fast. Yes, maybe I should also make it a black background with green font. Trying to figure out how to go forward from here. Okay, so I think what we can do is, you know what? Let me not even loop through the movies just yet, and let's only get, okay, so this is not going to be as simple as I was hoping for. Which makes, oh wait, hold on. Nope, it's not going to be as simple as I was hoping for, because of course it's not going to be. All right, so for each get movie info. So let's do this. Index movie index. So what I'm currently trying to do is I just realized that because, well, let me not do that just yet, because I have to loop through and make a request for each of these movies, and because each of the requests to the movie database API is going to be asynchronous, I should not hit, it's better for me not to hit the next, it's better for me not to request for the next movie until my current movie has finished processing, and hold on. Because for each movie, I need to hit the API endpoint, I should not go on to the next movie until my current movie request has come back and finished. Just because if not, then asynchronous requests has a tendency to have like, what's it called? Race conditions. And all of that just means that when I go and write my actors array into file, I might end up missing some movies because they might have come in out of order, or they might have come in and like then because of the timing in which the response has come back in, it might like overwrite the response of one movie, etc. It's a little bit messy. So that's why I write these functions so that I can call the function and go on to the next movie request only after my current movie request is done, which means that it's unfortunately going to take a little bit longer than the next 5 minutes to finish this, but let's at least get the correct info back for one movie, and let's go from there. I was over optimistic. So let's see, actor.movies and 0, and then I want to go get the movie ID. Yes, and then I think I'm going to test with just one movie for one actor, and I think I've missed some chats, and Gilliam says, next stream, you'll probably be using a separate account on the Mac. Yeah, I know. No, or I just figure out how to silence my notifications. Scribble says, you're fine. Thank you. Josh Judo says, that's how coding looks like in the movies. Just use a green font on black background and lots of random words. Yeah, like a lot of times when I see like a movie and they're like, oh, this person is a coder hacker, or and it's just like, HTML. And I'm like, I see. Or like when like they're interviewing someone, or like we've been watching a lot of Bake Off, and they'd be like, this person is a computer programmer, and it's like, or like, yeah. Anyways, um, and passwords are always guessed within 3 tries. Yes, so true. Um, Gilliam says, uh, we are lucky Shirley likes noisy keyboards. It adds to the ambience. Yeah, I actually really like my mechanical, like I got my mechanical keyboard a few years ago, and I don't think I can go back. Um, and DT says this should be fine, but we need to get into the event loop here. Joshua says, oh yeah, those mean HTML hackers. Yes. We would need to get into the event loop here. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, DT. But let me see. Ooh, okay. So this is the actor, and then I was able to get this data back. And actually, that is a lot. What would be helpful truly is if I parse that into that giant string into JSON. And perfect, because then now, and let me actually stop console logging the actor, or only console log the actor's name, so that it's easier going forward. And let's say, interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, so I think I've gone and, you know what? I should also console log the movie to see what it is, but it seems like it's a Crazy Rich Asians collection? No. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, we got this. Okay. Yes. Okay, so this is the movie Crazy Rich Asians. That makes sense? Does it make sense? I think that makes sense. Yes. This is what we were hoping for. And then there's the credits. And so let's first go through and process and just grab the information that we want, because there's obviously so much information in here, and we don't necessarily need all of them. So again, let's do this. Let's do object assign, and actually the movie, and let's only go and grab. Actually, let's go and grab. Let's grab the. I think Gilliam said he wanted the backdrop path, and I'm guessing that actually just means the backdrop path is probably just that, and then there's the poster path that is that. I'm not sure if we want the backdrop path. I'm only going to get the poster path for what we're doing. Okay, let's do this. We have 1 minute. I wonder if we should get whether it's adult or not. And actually, we want budget. Genres might be nice later on. And homepage, is that? Do we need that? I don't know. Okay, so we already have the ID. Oh no, okay. We already have the ID. We have, oh wait, I jotted down what I wanted. Okay, so here is what I want. Budget, genres, language. Ooh, actually, I think I was thinking spoken languages might be fun. Original language. Do I want language? No, I think I wanted spoken language because that sounded interesting. Okay, and I guess we can take the overview, and we can take the popularity. This is a poster path as per Gilliam's request. Do I want production companies? I don't know how we might use that information. I don't know. I'm just gonna not print out. Release date, very important. Revenue, also important. Runtime, not sure. Very excited about spoken languages. That'd be really fun to keep track of. Status. I guess we can do status. Do we want tagline? Ooh, title would be important. Vote average. That'd be interesting. Vote average and vote count. And then finally, let's go get the credits. Perfect. And actually, let us wrap up here, and we can pick it back up next Wednesday, and we can finish up what we were trying to do with this third script. I guess I was over ambitious in thinking that I would be able to finish all the scripts today, but that's okay because I had a really great time kind of chatting with you. And on Wednesday, I think we can finish up the rest of the scripts and get started on the data analysis, and that would be really fun. And I'm just going to catch up on the chat one last time. And Helium says, are all budget and revenue fields in USD or their country's local currency? What a great question. I have no idea. What a great question. We should verify that. I don't know, but I will try and figure that out. Ooh, do we have languages? Let's see, popularity, regions. Yes, we need to figure that out. We'll try and figure that out. But if anyone also knows, that'd be great and helpful also. And DT says JavaScript is kind of synchronous, at least inside of a function. So you would modify the global object one by one, but it could be out of order. So I guess it is better that way. Just Judo asks Shirley, do you have any recommendations on how to get started with UI? I did a coding bootcamp recently, and since I have an art and business background, cool, very cool. I actually have a business major from undergrad, which has been varying degrees of useful while freelancing. And business background feels like a field I want to know a lot more about. Do you have any advice on how to not get stuck in tutorial hell? That is a really great question. So usually I get more questions about getting started in dataviz than UI. I feel like it's a slight bit different. And acknowledging that I've been in this for like 8 or 9 years. So it's hard for me to kind of remember how it was like at the beginning. Acknowledging that, I would say that the best ways that I was able to learn, and again, this is totally dependent on your learning style, but for me, I tend to learn by doing. I don't retain theory and stuff as well. So like if I read a tutorial, I have to be able to re-implement it in my own way. I can't just I can't just like read a tutorial and do exactly as they say. Like I have to be able to be like, oh, so this is how they did it. Let me try and re-implement it my own way to be able to kind of understand all the concepts that they're trying to get across. So I guess for me personally, the way that I found it easiest to learn when I was starting was just to kind of pick a project that I was interested in and pare it down to like the smallest scope so that it's not overwhelming. And then because I have like a motivation and like a specific thing, especially as an artist, if you're an artist, like you might be able to kind of like draw out the UI, design out the UI that you might want to build. And once you have kind of like that solid idea, I find that then it's a matter of kind of finding, then you can find the tutorials that might help you implement what you have in mind. And I find that that's a lot easier than trying to like just like follow a bunch of tutorials, because you can, like you said, then in that case get really lost in the like sea of tutorials that are out there. So I find that when you have like a motivation, like a specific thing that you want to build and like have it be scoped, then it's very helpful, because whether you're looking at Stack Overflow or other people's code or other people's tutorials, you can kind of decipher, oh, like I don't think I need this tutorial, it's not helpful for me, but I do need this tutorial or this piece of code is helpful. And at least you can have like a very much scoped and targeted series of learning. And then once you kind of, get the first little bit, like you build the first little thing, and that like that sense of accomplishment is really great, right? So once you have that, then you like set a next small goal for yourself and accomplish that. Um, I think I've personally found that really helpful for my own learning style. Um, and just Judo says, remember to stay up late next Wednesday. Oh, if you're in Europe, much apologies, but thank you so much for sticking around so late. And Gilliam says, this is actually a good point. Define the parameters of your project, or you will be adding features and improvements for years, never finish anything. Start small, then add to it. Yes, I am the worst person as scope creep. I like try my best to define it very small, and then like weeks later, I'm like, why? I'm the worst project manager for myself. And let's see. Yeah, so Just Judo says, I need to work on it and visualize stuff myself. I'm in general a very visual person. Gilliam says, you'll learn stuff anyway, but be a bit more chaotic. Just Judo says, do draw websites and Procreate first indeed. Thank you both so much for your advice. Highly appreciated. So baby steps. It is. I wish you the best of luck on learning UI and coding. DT says, I guess the budget revenue is always in dollars. At least I checked some German movies and they also use dollar. That's really great to know. Thank you so much for checking that, DT. So we are a little bit over today, but I want to say thank you so much for joining, and I'll be back next Wednesday to finish up these scripts and get started on the data analysis part. It's very exciting. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Bye bye.